Hello, Isa here, back from Germany. I did not have the time to make an update before, apparently. I think the last one is almost like a week ago, if not more. I don't know, I have no clue. I have no notice of time anymore. My biorhythm is completely messed up. Last time I talked from Bhaktapur when I just arrived there, that I remember. So I just checked my pictures to remember what happened after. So in the evening, afternoon, first of all I posted an hangout in a couchsurfing app. I've never done that before. That's the first time for me, so tried it out for once, and yeah, it was not bad. I met some people, but first of all I was disappointed with some people. They just misread the post or did not read the post and just replied to anything that was on there or something, I don't know. But then this Indian guy, this Indian businessman, let's say, he was looking for some company, also had to be in Bhaktapur. So he also, he reacted to my post and was planning on meeting there, just impulsively booked a room in the same hotel as I did, and came later that night. Before that, I took the time to go sightseeing in Bhaktapur a little bit. My last video I said my hostel was at the Durbar Square of Bhaktapur, which was wrong. It was another square, I forgot the name, whatever. The one with the biggest temple of Nepal on there, the biggest Newari temple. I was actually right next to that one. So I went in town, did a little bit of souvenir shopping, went to the biggest highlights of Bhaktapur. Bhaktapur is this cute little Newari town. It used to be like the epicenter of Nepal, as far as I understood it, like the capital, more or less, I guess. And then was, of course, destroyed in the earthquakes, but not the one from 2015 that most people still know about, but the one from 1934, yes, 34, which was apparently also very, very devastating and ruined more or less the entire town, which was then in the 70s and 80s until 90s, I guess, mostly rebuilt with the financial aid of Germany. Proud German, not German over here. They had this funding project, and they helped first of all rebuild the heritages, but then after complaints from the people who were living in horrible circumstances back there, also coupled the project on renovations of the living qualities, like a sewer system and flowing water and stuff like that. So they combined the useful and the beautiful, which the Germans tend to know how to do, quite honestly. I took some sightseeing there, finished up with my souvenirs, and weirdly enough was talked to by multiple people who did not appear to have interest in my money, again, just like come to me and talk to me and asked if they can help me. I must have looked lost or something, or I don't know, just wanted to talk to a woman who was walking alone. I have no idea. I still haven't figured it out now, 1 week later, what it was. But yeah, people were nice, apparently. I like the Nepali people. They're very friendly to me. So, and then went back to the hotel, in my room. What did I do? Did I shower there? No, I showered in the morning. But by the time I was there and like charging my phone, or I don't know, I don't remember what I was doing. I was only there for 10 minutes or something until I heard my neighbor arrive, and I was answering this guy like, "Hey, I'm back here," and he's like, "Yeah, I'm just arriving. Give me a sec." And then I'm in this room, he said, and then of course I already heard him on the floor. So I already knew in which room he was. And I knocked on his door and I said, "I'm the room across from you. Hi." Yes, we talked to this guy a little bit. He was a very spontaneous, nice guy. Rushab is his name. he, yeah, also was just in Kathmandu. Well, he was in Kathmandu for some business and looking for a nice company, for having dinner, for, I don't know, something else than just business things to do, I guess. And then we looked for a place to have some dinner and see the town. Everything closes so early in Bhaktapur, it's crazy. At 8 o'clock everything was closed, I guess. Well, most things. And by that time it was almost 7 already, so we went to on the same square as the one where our hotel is, to this traditional Newari style building, which nowadays is a restaurant, and we went there and had some food there. And by that time another Nepali came to join us. His name I forgot. It was a very long one, but you could also shorten Mosan or Mohan, or I don't remember, something like that. He was also very nice. He was actually a tour guide in Bhaktapur, not per se in Kathmandu, but in Bhaktapur actually. And he just was very surprised that for the first time ever or something, someone asked to hang out in Bhaktapur, which he said never happens. Usually people want to meet in Kathmandu or in Tamil, which is like the tourist capital of Kathmandu, but not in Bhaktapur, which is 15 kilometers, I don't even know, I think east of Kathmandu. So he took the chance. He had a family dinner at that moment, but still hung out with for like 15 minutes just for the hell of it, I guess. Talked to us a bit about the city, and he had the next morning a bird watching event. So otherwise I would have asked him to look around for, give me some explanations about the town or something, but he was busy, so he couldn't do it. I didn't ask for that reason. Yeah, and then afterwards, of course, me and Rushab, we were still not that extremely sleepy, so we were like, at 8 o'clock, we more or less are thrown out of places. Where can we go now for the rest of the time? I ate too much, and then on the other side of the square there was this big building with a rooftop terrace where the lights were still on. So we guessed that there would have been something to do. So we went there. This guy told us, yeah, usually if you're lucky, they're open until 9:30. So or maybe 10 even. So we went there. They were in fact still open, and there were a few other tables still. People were sitting there, and I ordered dessert. I asked about the entire menu, what it was, because the English is kind of like Indian English, you know, where they use different words than the ones in mainstream English, let's call it that, are used for stuff. But everyone there and everyone in the neighboring countries knows what it means, so they all use it, and I guess it's like an official Hinglish word or something, but for me it's funny because I don't know what those words mean usually, since I don't use it. Maybe it's Bollywood English, I have no idea. And then I ordered in the end just a rice, what's the name of it? Rice, let's call it rice cream with or rice milk with cinnamon powder. That's what I ordered, although the other ones also sounded very nice, like fried banana and whatever, but I was not hungry at all, and I just felt obliged to order something just because I felt a little bit guilty at sitting at the terrace for just drinking a bottle of water, you know. But yeah, then we drank I drank masala tea with the dessert. He drank coffee, or I don't know what, with his dessert. We talked, we had good laughs, and by then I was really, really tired, so I wanted to go to sleep after all. Since, yeah, of course, the last 2 days, I woke up at maybe 5 in the morning, or I don't remember, 4:30, something like that. So my body was telling me it's time to sleep now. By 10 o'clock or something, we were back, and I called with Max after that. Not right away, I think he was still late at work. Was not the best talk, but yeah, well, it's hard being apart for a longer time, and it's mostly hard like when I'm enjoying myself, having a good time there, seeing people he never heard of, he will never see in his life, and he's at home not that busy, stressed at work, and you know, has the space and the time to miss me, when I don't really feel it that way, since I am, of course, completely busy with cool stuff all day, which is sucky for him, but made it a little bit difficult, because, you know, when you're in that circumstances, you cannot honestly say I missed you all day, because you didn't, you know. You think about him, of course, and you think about things that, yeah, are at that moment not possible, and like, I don't know, just holding him or hugging him or something, but it's not the same way as really actively missing him all the time, and then I'm not the one to lie about such things. Hi. Okay. Bis nächste Woche. Ja, tschüss. Yeah. Sorry about that. My friend is leaving. Then, where was I? So yeah, the talk was a little bit more difficult, which of course kept me awake again until midnight, or I don't know. It was a little bit awkward. But as usual, we always end up nice and make friends again and love each other again, which is the important thing, I guess, in a relationship. And I went to sleep. The next morning I did not put my alarm clock because I really didn't feel like it. But of course, like the noises and the light, I mean, I'm sorry, wake you up at some point. I guess it was 8:30 or something I woke up, which still gave me a decent night. And then I took my time, went up for breakfast. Rushab was still there. He said the day before that he had to leave like at 8 or something, but apparently he waited. He was, after all, not that necessary at the place. He just had to sit there and supervise, apparently. So he was like, nah, I still have the time, let's have breakfast first. And then we had breakfast on the rooftop in the sun. It was awesome. I miss the sun here back in Germany. It's cold here. But yeah, we had breakfast. Mine was included, already paid by my friend, my good friend Sarosh. And then we said goodbyes. Rushab went straight from there. He already checked out at that point. And I still had to pack my bags, take a shower. I don't remember, whatever I had to do. Just prepare myself in a regular tempo. By that time, like when I started packing and all the rest was done, I decided to get a cab. I was like going down at the reception because the day earlier they told me they had this service. They offered this to arrange me a cab. And I also sent my postcards the day before. That's like a few days before I head back to Germany, and yeah, I don't think they've arrived yet. Nobody has said anything from the ones that are supposed to receive one. So I sent it also from the reception. This is why I remember I paid for them for buying me some stamps, and they would send it right away. Then it was about 2 weeks before it would arrive, so I still have 1 more week ahead. But no, but about the taxi, so I came down. Rushab, thank God, already told me what was more or less the price that I should count with for a cab. He was like, I did it for 700 rupees, maybe 800. So as long as you don't go over 1,000, it's a good price. You have to go 15 kilometers. And I went down at the reception. I told them the address I have to go, and they were talking to each other in Nepali, and then they said, yeah, it will be 2,000 rupees, ma'am. 2,000 rupees, I said, but I heard the price was like around 800. What happened there? And it's like, yeah, it's a good car. It's the hotel car. It's with airco and also AC and everything. And I was like, no thanks, I don't need that. I would prefer a regular one. Oh, then you'll have to go out on the street and look for one, they said. Oh, so yeah. Then I was a little bit confused because, of course, I thought maybe they can call a number from their desk or something, which I cannot do with my German number, and which is fucking expensive. But then I started texting my friends over Wi-Fi still, of course. They helped me out. So my niece sent me a number that I could call from the main desk to get a cab at the hotel. And then Rushab called all his local friends. He has like this network that is incredible. He parties with important people. He finds his way out on miraculous ways just because he has connections, you know. That's the kind of person he is. So he called all his connections. They unfortunately all were in Kathmandu, and none could take me from Bhaktapur to Kathmandu. Sarosh also told me, no, 2,000 is too much, don't go with that, at least 1,000, it should be around 1,000, he said. So in the end, I did not call. I was a little bit ashamed to tell this woman, please call for me this number and ask for a cab, after I rejected her cab. So what I did was I packed my bags completely, then just took my backpack and my money, my small backpack and my money, to make sure that if they bargain or something, that I at least could give them the money before leaving. And I took my hotel key, I locked my door, and I went out in the streets and just looked for the first cab that I found. First one was already taken, they were waiting for someone. The second one was standing there, and I started negotiating. This is one of the first time and most successful times that I negotiated. He started at 1,200. I started at 700, and in the end we ended at 1,000. I tried 800 a few times, even 900, and it's a long way, ma'am, it's a long way. Just also, so I had, I felt sorry for the guy, and I didn't mind paying 1,000. You know, it's the price Sarosh told me, it's the price Rushabh said was still acceptable. So when you know how much is more or less acceptable, then, you know, I can bargain with that, because then I know what to expect. But if I have to bargain myself, I suck. I really suck at it. I cannot do it. I feel so guilty for doing it, you know, like I'm stealing from people or something. And the taxi could not get until the hotel, because it was a what is it called, a vehicle-free zone. So I had to get my stuff. Went back in the hotel. They were like, oh, did you find someone? I was like, yeah, thank you so much. And then I got my stuff, gave them back the key, checked out, and jumped in the cab back to Kathmandu. I did not see any more from Bhaktapur, but I think there was not so much more to see. You know, it's a beautiful city. I saw the most important views, spots in the city, did some shopping, and that's it, you know. You cannot stay there for, I don't know, 3 days and still have things to see. So I went to Manish. I let him know that I was on the way. He was home by then, already still, and awaited me more or less. Thank God I asked him for his phone number before, because the cab drivers, of course, always needed phone numbers for the details how to get exactly there, because the street names and the numbers, it's something weird over there. I never figure them out, and you cannot find them on the map, or I don't know, the streets are weird there. But then, yeah, he called him. He was friendly, the guy. His name was Ekrash. He was the same, which is the same name as my yoga teacher, as you might remember from the beginning. Sorry, I'm a little bit sick, a lot. He dropped me off nicely. I was standing in front of the door. He just was waiting there. I think he was waiting to see if I was safe in the house or something. And I could not reach Manish because I did not have Wi-Fi, and of course I have no credits, a Nepali phone card or something. So I stand there and waited. So I went back to the guy and asked him, could you call my friend and let him know that I'm here, please? And then Manish saw my messages and came down at the same time as after he called him and let me in. So yeah, this was around noon, I guess, more or less, that I arrived there. His friend Robi, which is an Italian girl who just moved to Kathmandu, apparently to follow her love, which is a nice story. I heard a nice story about her, but this is private, so I'm not going to share it with the world. I was told it in private, let's call it that. But we had lunch together. After that, just, yeah, sat down there, dropped my stuff, talked a little bit to the current couch surfer of Manish, Denise, a German girl. She was, I think, in that moment in a bad mood a little bit. And so Manish and I went out for lunch around the corner of his around this place, from his place. And Roby met us there, or did she come before? No, she came before because we checked out the house. He showed us some more beautiful stuff that I did not see before. His reception desk was already there, well, partially there, and he has this beautiful Newari style wall with a door in it, in this space, this big space that he's gonna make into like a recreational space where he's gonna put some couches and I don't know, pool tables or something like that, just for fun. And he wants a bar there, and he's gonna make the bar in this door, in this opening from this antique Newari style little room, and it's from shape it would fit perfectly. It's like big enough for putting some bottles and some closets, but it's not that big that you have to have 5 waiters or something that can manage the bar. One guy fits in perfectly. So yeah, we checked the building out, and then we went for lunch. They both had dal bhat. I had a sandwich. I wasn't feeling that well, and we talked very openly. Roby was in a very good mood. We talked about this place where she was gonna go the next day, which is some sort of meditation, I think from, what's his name, Osho, from the Osho school or something. And the goal is to be completely in silence for 10 days. You're not even allowed to do like sign language or something. You're completely in silence. And you do a lot of meditations. Yeah, I don't know the details, but it sounded very intense and I could never do it. Well, apparently I could, if you ask anyone, but I cannot imagine. I love talking too much, you know? But that's probably also the goal of it, to detox from talking for a moment. And she was gonna go there for the next 10 days, so that's, yeah, intense. Ruby is also the one who's gonna work for Manish. Manish will be the owner of the hostel, of course, and she will be like the manager of it, and also be at reception and give her own yoga courses. She's a yoga teacher, so yeah, it was pretty cool. Lunch date. Then we went back to Manish's place, and I actually was planned to meet up with Sarosh again to arrange our rafting trip, because I wanted to go rafting on the next day, which is cool. I was feeling a little bit crazy last week, you know, like doing all kind of adventurous, spontaneous things that I've never done before in my life, and rafting was one of them. So I don't know, Sarosh is also some kind of hero, you know, he just makes it happen. I want it and he makes it happen. And I was supposed to be there in Tamil before 5 o'clock. So Roby and I both had to go back to Kathmandu, and that's where we tested Toodle, this app that's in Nepal, in Kathmandu at least, very practical, because it's like a moped taxi service. You book your trip. It's way cheaper than a regular taxi, and whoever is using the app and is registered as a driver, just picks you up, and you have 2 payment options. You can pay cash at delivery, where you're dropped off, or you can pay using your phone credit, and then they already receive it at the moment where they pick you up, and both are confirmed that they did it, you know. I guess, but we used the cash option, so I have no idea. Yeah, and then we tried that one out. There was this guy, he called a few times. Manish was all the time, oh, he's not there yet, and then I went down. A few minutes later, after the last time he called, this guy, I'm standing here for 15 minutes already, which could not have been true, you know. 5 minutes earlier, Manish talked to him on the phone, and he said he's almost there. So yeah, well, I don't know, I don't care. And this guy was a little older, had a little girl in front of his bike, so we were 3 people sitting on this moped. She in front, then this guy at the regular driver's seat, and me on the back without a helmet, because of course there is no helmets provided for this kind of service. And they dropped me off for like 60 rupees, which is €0.50. I don't know how many kilometers, but it's like maybe 2.5 or something. It's a 25-minute walk to there, so it was practical and very cheap, so I loved it. And I was dropped off at this corner, and then of course I could not reach Sarosh because I did not have Wi-Fi and I did not have a Nepali phone. So I was standing there a little bit lost. I thought he was gonna come and find me, which didn't happen. So I texted him with a regular phone. I have no idea what that costs, but I don't want to know. Probably more than the taxi drive there, the moped drive, I guess. Definitely more. And then he showed up. Then he found me, and then I found him. Let's call it that. We drank some coffee, we talked. I met his best friend, which is apparently the national champion mountain biking, 2 years older than Sarosh. And I could tell that he really looks up at him. Although it's a very short guy, which is not so funny, sorry. Yeah, and then we went to this first place for rafting, but they did not offer it on the 2 days that I was still there. And then we went to another place. They did offer it, and then it was 7,000 rupees. Is what Sarosh told me when I entered there. And then at somewhere in the discussion they changed it to like $70. And I was like, yeah, 7,000 rupees is fine, sure. And I was like, yeah, what are you gonna pay with, ma'am? Cards, forget it, you can never use cards there. So either you pay cash or you pay not, but you pay. So if you want to do something, you have to pay. So I paid everything cash. I had to go to the ATM like 20 times in my entire stay there, I guess. But then they changed the price until $70, and after a while it still went up. No, yes, it went up. They made some calculations, and then suddenly they said, okay, you want to pay in rupees, that will be 8,200 rupees, which is 1,200 more, which is 10 euros more, which is a lot of money in Nepali world. So I was not agreeing to it. I said, oh, to Sarosh, directly to Sarosh, before you said it was 7,000 rupees, why is it now 8,200? Yes, euro have different rates, blah, blah, blah. He talked a little bit, that was the woman then, he talked a little bit with her, and it was, okay, 7,000 rupees. I was like, okay, that's easy. I did not have to discuss, but I wasn't going to do it for 8,200, I guess. I was going to do it for 7,000. I doubted a little bit because it's still 50-something euros, but then I was like, fuck it, you only live once. I want to do this, and I'm going to do this, which, why not, you know? I wanted to try it. So we booked it. And then he was like, own transportation. They use a few English words in there, so I could usually pick up like the red, how do you say that in English? I forgot, you know, like the main theme of the conversation you could still figure out from it, but the details, of course, are completely lost on me. But I had to be there the next morning at 6 o'clock in the morning for going there by, I guess, with the car from materials, and they were gonna go by moped, which is what I found out later. And I was like, oh, I want to go too with moped. Can I do that? Just again, very impulsively. I had a very, very, very impulsive week. And he was like, yeah, sure, we can. You want to? I thought he was kidding, you know. It was like that easy. And I was like, yeah, sure, why not? And then he took me to this moped rental store straight away. So that's the first thing we did after. And we rented one for 800 rupees, which is, I don't know, 6 euros for an entire day. 5-6 euros must have been, no? Yeah, something like that. For an entire 24 hours until the next day at 7 o'clock in the evening. Yeah, and we rented one, including a helmet for me. And of course, I didn't want to drive in Tamil because it's more or less also a vehicle-free zone. But yeah, the mopeds are still driving through and the bicycles, but there's a lot of people walking through. I guess in the tourist high season, it's gonna be even worse. But still, I didn't want to drive there, so he took me right there, ride a motorcycle, not drive. He took me. Then we made it like a little turn around the block, and ended up at the coffee place where we met at the first time. because I told him I also have to shop a little bit, like souvenir shop. But then the goal was actually to get his birthday present, since he gave me a dress and everything. We parked the moped at the moped parking there, right across, not even one street further, like a few tens of meters further from the coffee place, and walked. Of course, first we had to pay. We stopped at an ATM before the moped, the motorcycle rental, because I needed to have the 7,000 rupees, of course. So first we went back to pay that one after we had the motorcycle, and then it was like teasing me a bit because I was, now you have to go because I'm gonna go shop for you and you cannot see what I buy. And I waited until he was far enough away and he kept looking back and laughing, you know. So I thought he's gonna stalk me or something. So I went shopping and bought him mostly memories, actually. Like a t-shirt that said Dal Bhat Power for 24 hours, which is something they say there. Dal Bhat is this dish, I guess I mentioned it before, which he eats 2 times a day, and he feels like it gives him magic powers. Apparently that's like the mentality there. They all think that's the great food of Nepal. Magnet, I looked for a specific one. I actually wanted one with a mountain bike or something, but they don't have that. So I bought one from Pokhara with the fishtail mountain, paragliding guy, and the lake with the boat. So all the things we did in Pokhara, which is his favorite city, all the things we did there were on this one magnet. So I thought that's a good one, actually. I bought him also this deodorant because I bought for myself a few deodorants, two pieces actually, one for women and one for men, because the one for men actually smelled better than one for women for my taste. I have a thing for good smells, so I really am stimulated by nose. And yeah, this one is a relatively sweet scent. It could actually also be for like a women, but it's a little bit more masculine. I cannot tell. It's like in between. It's almost unisex. But I loved it so much that I used that one the entire trip instead of the one that I bought for myself. And I used that one, and in the end wanted to give it to Max because I like the smell, and you know my boyfriend has to smell good, you know. But I let it smell to Saroj also at some point, and he was like, "Oh, that's great. What is it?" So yeah, I showed him the bottle, and now I gave it to him as a gift. And what else? I had 4 things. Magnet, deodorant. Oh, and the funny Nepali hat, which was a moment in Pokhara where we went shopping. I actually was thinking I'm gonna buy Max this. He's gonna look good in it, so I want to try it. Mostly because also Saroj told me he looks like a Nepali. He could have been a Nepali guy, you know. And I actually do believe that he would have looked good in this kind of hat, although it's a funny one, you know. But I decided not to buy one after Saroj tried some on for me, just to see like the head size, if it was a big or a small size. I think Max's head is a little bit smaller than Saroj's, but there were a few different sizes, just so I could see it on and see the color, and you know. He put it on, and we had a funny picture with that, and yeah, that's why it was also a memory. And I bought him one with a color that I thought would look good on him, so that's my 4 gifts for him. He liked them. I gave them right after, back at the coffee place. Yeah, and it was funny. We had laughs about it. And the next day, I even already wore the t-shirt when we were rafting, but I will get to that in the next video, because I see I've been already talking for 34 minutes for just like 2 days, not even. So I guess I'll finish up with this one. What else did happen on that? Oh yeah, a few things. I'll finish up with the day, then I can talk about the rafting after this one. So yeah, the shopping, the drinking coffee, and then he drove me to Manish's place on the motorcycle. I don't remember how he went home after that. I think his friend picked him up or something. So he drove. He did not want me to drive in the traffic since, well, you know, they're left-hand drivers, and they're Asian drivers, let's call it that. It's a little bit more chaotic, a lot more chaotic than what we are used to. So he did not really feel comfortable letting me drive, but he made me promise that in the evening I would ride a bit with Manish, and he had to teach me how to drive in Nepali style, ride in Nepali style. Yeah. So I told this to Manish, who thought it was funny, and he was like, yeah, we could do that, we can go in town or something. Which we eventually did. So what did we do first? Did I take a shower? No, I took a shower in the morning, I took a shower the next day. So yeah, we prepared a bit. I helped him a little bit with decorations again, with the doors and everything. And then we prepared ourselves and went for dinner in Tamil, apparently. I thought we were going to go somewhere else, but I guess I misunderstood this part. Because I also told him we need gasoline. This moped that I got was below 0, so I really needed to get some gas. But which I found out only on the next day, there was a shortage. None of the gas stations actually had something, so we drove around a little bit panicky. Manish even called like 5,000 people to hear if they knew where to get some. And it didn't work out, but we already were more or less in Tamil, so then we went there for dinner. Oh, I drove there myself, yes, you understand that, right? Manish rode his motorcycle with Denise in the back, and I rode mine behind them to follow them, yeah. It was relatively quiet, only the big crossroad was still chaos as always. But I managed, and I wasn't afraid actually for some reason. The dinner we had at a nice place, I forgot the name, but I enjoyed it actually. It was also one of Manish's favorites, I guess. Manish likes to take people to his favorite spots, and this was also a very good one. And we shared food, so we ordered a few curries, some naan, and some momos, and then shared the food, the three of us. Went very deep in talking again. This is where Denise opened up. I like that. I got to know her a little bit better on this one. In the evenings, apparently, her mood is a little bit better. I don't know. I don't really have a feel for her yet. Like when she's in a good mood or what puts her out of mood or something. I didn't figure it out, but I liked her. She's a really nice girl, but sometimes I did not really know how to deal with that, you know. I usually am good with estimating how people are gonna react, or I don't know, but this one was a difficult one. Yeah, so we had dinner, we had talks, and after we drove back without finding gasoline, so he made me we rode back, tell Sarosh to bring me some gasoline, or at least take me to some pump in the next morning, since I was so low. I could not go without any gasoline. It would have been a problem. So yeah, I think. And then did we go dancing? Yeah, we actually played some pool. We didn't go dancing, but we played some pool. Denise did not feel like it, but me and Manish, we played 1 round or 2 rounds. 2 rounds. I lost gigantic. He's pretty good. I'm good for a beginner, let's call it that. But Manish is really good, and I lost. And then there was this guy sitting at the bar who wanted to play with him. And then they played 1 more round. Me and Denise were chatting a bit in the meantime. And after that we went back, I guess. Did we go? I think he wanted to go to 1 more place. He ordered a burger. We took a burger. But I think in the end we did not go. We were talking about like go dancing or go clubbing. But I wasn't feeling it, you know. The next day we were gonna do that since it was my last day. And also... sorry. And also I had to wake up relatively early. Instead of 6 o'clock I had to leave at 7:30 now, since we had the moped. Which is so much better, because then I got to sleep until 6:30. Otherwise I would have had to wake up at 5 and rush just so I could be in time for getting this bus in Tamil, you know. and not even knowing how to get to Tamil. But with the moped it was way better. So 7:30 I had to wake up, so I did not really feel to go crazy that evening. Yeah, and then I went to sleep in my friend's hostel, which is the name of my friend's hostel. Yeah. Fun day. A little bit unplanned, a little bit everything and nothing, but it was actually fun. So I will make another video for the next 2 days, because that are my last 2 days, I guess. But with this one I will close up for now. See you later.